Hello lovely people, and welcome to Philanthropic February day 28. We are on the last day. It's kind of sad, isn't it? I'm thinking ahead to what I want to do next. I'm thinking I should have a spring fling in March, even if it's just a week of daily videos, because daily videos are a big commitment. But it would be rather nice to have something special, maybe around the spring equinox. Anyway, that's something for another day. I'll make some plans. So I have been pretty busy today. I ended up getting up at 5:30 this morning. It's a bit like a summer holiday. Do you remember when you were a kid and you had to drag yourself out of bed to go to school? I was so bad at that. I would get up at 8 o'clock, which was the absolute latest I could possibly get up to be at school on time. For 9, I think it was. Had to walk to school. Amazing. I didn't get late black marks on my record all the time. Used to roll out of bed at the absolute last minute, and it used to infuriate my father because he wanted to get up at 8 o'clock and go in the bathroom, which was the only one for the entire family, of course. And so I would jump in there like a minute ahead of him. Get out of the bathroom, Nicola, it's time to get ready for school. I need to go in there. And he was another one who pretty much left it to the last minute as well. And all he had was a cup of coffee and then ran out the door. So he never ate breakfast. So he could get ready really quickly. Anyway, this is a massive digression. Anyway, what I was saying was on the summer holidays, you wanted to get up early because you didn't have to go to school. It was 6 weeks of absolute heaven. You didn't have to go to school. You could get up as early as possible because you knew it was just going to be a day of playing, maybe going to the beach, maybe going outside and playing with your friends around the neighborhood. Yeah, so that's kind of how I felt today. I woke up early and I thought, well, I could try and go back to sleep, or I could get up early and I could make myself a French press full of coffee, get myself really caffeinated up, and achieve some things. Anyway, I don't think I said, I'm Nicola, this is Stitches and Slapdashery, and that was a whoo, blah, 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 very voluble start to the video. So, I made a list today. Yesterday, I know I said something about, I don't think I need to make a list. I can just leave all my works in progress out on show so that I don't forget any of them. Well, I have some ideas that I'm not going to get to straight away. So it did end up making a list. And it's very satisfying making a list and crossing things off, isn't it? Are you one of those people? I am. I'm a person who will put, oh, I think I knocked the microphone. Sorry. I'm one of those people who will make a list just to be able to cross things off. I will make a list saying, vacuum upstairs, vacuum downstairs, clean this bathroom, clean that bathroom, mop the floor, mop the kitchen floor, water the plants. And then I can cross it all off as I do it, and it feels so good. So this morning I had this quite extensive list, and I ended up doing really well. The first thing I did is, once I had done all my usual social media stuff and catching up with what was going on with that, is I finished the Melt the Ice hat. Oh, and I haven't put it on a head. I'm not going to put it on my head. My hair is messy enough as it is. It does not need to be flattened by a hat. Let me just put it on Sally the Styrofoam head here. It's going to look very large on her because she only has a small head. So this is the Melt the Ice toque from Sizu Designs. I did a 6-inch brim. I did a band of, I put it on back to front because the Morse code doesn't go all the way around. So I need to make sure the Morse code is near the front. There's a band of Morse code in between these two pearl lines that says resist tyranny. I did 7 inches of complete length from the fold to the end of the stockinette. Then I did the decreasing on every other round along this edge and this edge. And then I added the I-cord and the tassel. And I did try it on. It's a relaxed fit, shall we say. It doesn't really grip my head like some of my other hats do. but it's very comfortable, and I think it will be very warm. Of course, the weather here is warming up to the point where I may not even need a hat again this winter, but I have one now, and I might just wear it for the sake of wearing it because it's sending a message. It's sending a message. Melt the ice. Get rid of ice. We don't want those nasty people doing what they're doing, do we? Nope. Melt them away. Melt them away with peace and love and protest. Non-violent protest, preferably, but, protest. People power, that's what it is. So I'm really glad that I've got this hat done, and that's a finished object. The other amazing thing is I finished another thing this morning too. Where can I put Sally? Okay, let's stick her over there with the hat. Oh, that was loud. Okay, I finished another thing today too. You might remember a little while back this month, I was working on this cute little toadstool bag, which was an unpublished pattern that I was testing for somebody. She put out a request on the testing pool group on Ravelry, and I haven't done a test in there for a really long time. I was stalking it, lurking in it, not really stalking it, lurking in the group for a while, thinking that if I saw anything I really liked and I had the time to put into it, I would volunteer. So I did with this one because it's toadstools. I love toadstools. And it's a small bag, and it didn't take me long. There were a few things that needed tweaking with her pattern. I think she's going to be rewriting it to account for all of the testers' feedback. I put my little stitch marker on there that I had made not long ago, put a zipper in it, put a lining in it, put D-rings on it, and it got kind of stuck in its bag for a while because I was busy with other fun stuff. But I finally finished the Tunisian simple stitch strap and sewed the ends to the what do you call them? Swivel clips, swivel clasps, lobster clips, whatever you want to call it. And it's finished, completely finished now. I can use that now. So that is awesome. I was able to update my Ravelry project pages. I think I've completely completed that. I hope I have. And that's 2 things off the to-do list. So that felt really good. So what else did I have on my to-do list? I had find sticks for mushrooms. I did that this morning. I found these wonderful curly sticks while we were out walking this morning. I will probably be putting the footage from our walk in first, or I might put it in after this, but we went walking and I said to Mr. Stitches, we need to go in the woods, or in the park anyway, and find some sticks so that I can make some more clay mushrooms, have them on the sticks so that they can go into plant pots up in my living room. And I want them to be pastel colours, like my birdhouse, which is completely finished now. It's all dry. Mod Podge is all dry. So I want to have some little clay mushrooms on sticks to match this, or at least coordinate with it. And I also, what else did I collect? Where's that rock that I picked up? I must have left the rock in my foraging bag. I picked up a nice smooth rock, which I think I might paint as well in the similar colours. And yeah, so the collecting sticks for that project is off the list, but the making of the mushrooms is still on the list. Slow stitching. I have added a lot more French knots to the slow stitching this morning. Afternoon. It's afternoon. What am I saying? So the other day, or yesterday and the day before, you probably saw me do the French knots on here, on the pink circles. I have now done all 11 pink circles with French knots. That took a lot of close work and a little bit of tangled yarn and a bit of cursing at times. But anyway, it's done. So I've also figured out, I was looking in the trims and ribbons aisle at Michael's yesterday, trying to think what I would do when I convert this into a pouch. Now let me just take the needle out of this. It's somewhere in here and I know I'm going to stab myself with it. Where did I put it? I know there's a needle in here. There it is. Okay, so if you didn't see before, the plan is I'm going to back this with something pretty and I'm going to fold it into an envelope shape and it will be eventually rolled up into a little pouch. I made a much larger version of this back in November. So I needed something to wrap around it when it's done to hold it closed. And I realized after I was looking at Michael's and couldn't really find exactly what I needed, I realized I have some of this faux suede trim that also came from Michael's. And it's in the Creatology department, which is the kids department. And I have 6 colors of it, but these 3 colors are perfect to go with my slow stitching. So what I may do, I'll try it. I'm going to try braiding 3 of them together and see how that looks. But I don't have to do it yet because there's a ton more stitching to do on that. I need to go and go around the raw edges of a lot of the pieces where they're still lifting. And also my little tiny bead collection here. I want to have a look at the seed beads in here and maybe add some of the tiniest beads onto here as well. So it's not a quick project, that one. But then slow stitching isn't supposed to be, is it? So I'm going to put it in that basket there so that doesn't get forgotten about. And I'll put the beads in that little basket too. And just for now, I'm going to just fold that up and put it in there as well so that it's out of the way. Ta-da! And maybe, I'm not sure what happened to my needle case. I think I have put it somewhere. Not sure. I'm going to probably regret this, but I'm going to put the needle right into the handle. I hope I don't forget it's there, because you know I'm going to stab myself on it, don't you? This desk is getting really cluttered. But it's cluttered with fun, crafty stuff, so I'm not going to fret about that. Yes, the other thing I wanted to do, which was also on my list and has now been crossed off, is this collage I made yesterday. I have Mod Podged the front, and I have used the glue stick to attach a second index card to the back, so it can be used to write on as a greetings card or a postcard or something. So I really enjoyed making that. That was from bits ripped out of a Dr. Seuss magazine, and a little bit of Derwent Inktense pencil just to add some colour, make it look a bit more interesting. So that was a lot of fun. I'm going to have to make a few more of those, I think. There's a lot more magazine left to use and a few more index cards as well. And that is right there, so we'll leave that there. So let's see, what's left? I want to do more collage. Okay, I've got that. The forked stick weaving. The other day I showed you this stick I had brought home from a creekside walk. It's pretty large. I did break a lot of it before I brought it home, but it's still pretty large. But I'd like to put a weft in there, or warp. Hang on, I want to put a warp in there. Yes, the warp is what goes first, right? You warp something and then you do the weft. So I want to do maybe yarn across here, and then maybe weave either more yarn or strips of fabric into here and make a little weaving in that fork. That's not a high priority thing right now, but I've added it to the list because otherwise I might forget about it, and I don't want to forget about it. So more collage. I'll get to that. Rock painting, I'll get to that when I find the darn rock I picked up earlier. It's probably still in the bag that I carried with me when I went out. Fabric vessel. I bought a tutorial recently by Anne Wood because I saw Kate at the last time we housed with a little fabric bowl she had made, and I thought, okay, I'll go and check that out. And it was, I think, $8 to buy the tutorial. And I started something. Oh, there's a needle in there. Okay, that's where that went. I started something on a little ramekin dish, and all I've done so far is attached a couple of bits of fabric, but I don't really like the shape of that. I think I'm going to restart that with a larger item, a larger, I don't know what it's going to be, maybe a tall glass or something, a bigger piece of fabric as my base, and then I will get that going again, because I don't think that's working out for me. But I needed to write that down so I didn't forget to do that because I paid for the tutorial. Okay, I'm going to be extra double dangerous and put that needle in there as well, because I'm pretty sure the case for those is buried in here somewhere. I hope. What else? Fork stick weaving, more collage, rock painting, fabric vessel, pastel mushrooms on sticks. I think I mentioned all those already. The other thing I wouldn't mind trying, there's just too many ideas out there. It's ridiculous. The other thing I would like to try is making a fabric bowl with glue, like papier-mâché or paper-mâché, depending on which end of the country you live in or end of the world you live in. I always used to say papier-mâché when I was living in the British side of things. Americans say paper-mâché. So it's a bit like that, but with fabric instead of paper. And I saw somebody doing that the other day. I think it was Lindsay on Instagram. It's a lovely day for her again. I mentioned her yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was her. And I think she covered a bowl in cling film, plastic wrap. And then she just started, she put some fabric on and just built up a couple of layers of fabric, let it dry. And then she took the bowl out and the plastic wrap off. And then I think she did another layer on the inside. So I think I might do that today because I have so many scraps. And I kind of like to make something that's, again, kind of spring colors. So maybe what I'll do is I'll go grab the supplies and I'll grab my massive 8-pound bag of scraps. I might start trying to do that. I have a couple of bottles of school glue. Probably use a lot, won't it? But it's cheap. So yeah, give me a second and we'll get that started. That was a bit of fun playing with scraps. Not my usual playing with scraps, because I don't normally smother them in glue. One of the other videos I was watching while I was doing the slow stitching earlier was Night Owl Crafts, who I discovered when she did that wonderful slow stitching or embroidery course. Not really a course, a series. I think it was in December, and she did a series of snow globe embroideries, and that's when I discovered her. And I just watched her latest video. She has so much snow there. I think she's in Ontario, maybe. Not sure. Can't remember. But she did a scrap project today of a couple of journal covers, and like she said, however many scraps you use, it never seems to make a dent in your scraps. So this pillowcase full of scraps still feels just as full as it ever did, but it brings me a lot of joy. So here we come to the end of Philanthropic February. I hope you had fun with it. I did. And I'm still going to continue the fun. Never fear. Obviously, I have to finish this project, which I just started, which is exceedingly goopy and messy. But I do amazingly still have some glue left that didn't use as much glue as I thought. So I still have some of the Elmer's glue. I don't think I'm even going to have to make a dent in the dollar store stuff. But if I do, it's easy stuff to find. There's tons of it about. Thanks again for coming along for Philanthropic February, and I will definitely be doing more fun stuff in March. I hope you hang around to spend more time with me. A little bit of nutty fun always makes the day go better, don't you agree? I'll see you again really soon. Bye for now.